Well, it worked. Hello YouTube, Ian from the bedroom here, your guitar junkie. I'm going to do verses. Yeah. I'm going to do Epiphone KOA. Custom Pro versus Epiphone Modern. Yeah. As usual, let's do a little sound check. I'll go through the different things here. Give it some buzz. From Ronnie Earl. Joe Walsh stole that one. Switcheroo. That KOA is a little heavier than this modern. Yeah. Missed the intro. Start the same way, just keep the boost on. Timing is everything. And having the volumes on it too. Beck stole that from them. has some juice on the KOA. It's more heat. Yeah, this is a little bit heavier than the Modern, by far. Here we go. My hand keeps on muting the string. Yeah. Quiet that up a bit. All right. Let's do the old turn on, clip on, make sure it's still lit, and then plug it in, plug it in. Stay there now. Yeah, cut half my head off, but you can see the guitar, and that's all that matters. How you doing? Yeah, had a couple of New Yorkers. Oh man, Brooklyn, Flatbush, and Queens. I can't remember. I should have wrote their names down to give a shout out. Queens, my grandfather, my mom, on my mom's side, in Norwegian we call our father's pop and our grandfather's pop. In growing up in our house, my dad was born here, family's from Norway, so he didn't like the pop and pop, even though that's what he was called. And I'm used to calling him dad and my father, and I'm used to calling my pop on both sides my grandfather's, grandpa. That's what it was. So my grandfather from my mother's side from Norway sold the farm and lots of acres of land. Each child had their own cow named after them that they took care of. And they had my mom had a picture of her cow that was called Gladys up on the wall of our house for the longest time. He sold the farm. They all moved to New York and resided in Brooklyn. And the money that he had, he was also handy as a contractor, building stuff. He started his own contracting business. And a lot of the houses, like the neighborhoods in Queens, he built most of the houses in Queens in the 1930s when there was like nothing there at the time. Things were popping up. So that's how that whole Queens thing sticks in my head. I remember him going to his, they were building another house, and he went to pull up to the house, turned off, put the car in park, turned it off, and had a massive heart attack, like age 51, 52, and died right there on the spot. It was horrible for my family, but he didn't make it past that. But that was his legacy, was building houses in Queens. So yeah, and my mom was born in Norway. My father, like I said, he was born in Brooklyn. His family came from Norway. That's where the Viking side comes in. They served the king for like 150 years, going back with family crest and coat of arms. And I hate when I just go off like that because people get pissed off and they say, "Oh, just go to such and such a time." They get to the thing. My mind wanders. It just goes crazy. So yeah, shout out to everyone from that's been saying I like your New York accent. I've been trying to cover it up while I'm down here in Florida because a lot of people mistake it for Boston. They think I'm from Boston. I'm not from Boston. That's a Boston, back the car in the yard kind of thing. I don't know where they get that from, but you know, 6 to 1, half a dozen the other, right? So this thing here is really growing on me. It's gonna be a keeper, even though I want the custom with the ebony fingerboard. I'm just waiting for a good one to come up used somewhere that's a good deal on any of the used sites, eBay, Reverb. Guitar Center doesn't have all the ones that I've seen on Guitar Center. They're all rosewood, and although they look ebony, as soon as I call up and I ask them to get it in their hands, because that's what I do. I call up the store. Yeah, I'm calling about the KOA Epiphone. Yeah, I know everything about it. What do you want to know? I want you to get it in your hands. Can you grab it for me? Oh, what do you need to know? I want you to have it in your hand, and then I'll let you know. I don't want to ask questions and then someone's playing it and then he brings it to the counter and buys it. I've had that happen before. Brings it to the counter. Yeah. Two questions. One is it an ebony fingerboard? No. I says it looks ebony. Looks like no, it's definitely rosewood. And two, what's the year? Because it's very hard to read the stamping with the year on the back, which is up top there. Very hard. A lot of the photos that they show, you can't. It doesn't even look like they have a stamp. So this is 2019. I believe the 2021, 22s are the ones with the ebony fingerboard. And when I do come across something like on Reverb, they want like $8, $800 for it. I'm like, they sell brand new for that much. Like, are you kidding me? That's just insane to for something like that. So I'll wait. I don't. I'm trying to refrain from buying it new because they're hard to find, and I really don't want to spend that much. I'd rather spend 500, 600 in change and deal with it that way. And if I could find it and be satisfied with it, great. So this thing here, because you could tell I'm loving it so much, because it feels like I've been playing this guitar for 20 years. It's broken in perfectly. You could tell from my other video, I've replaced the button, and because I replaced that one, I replaced the one on the bottom just so that they match. And they're nice, super thick, for the strap to get around, really holds on there. And they also came with the same rubber washers to put on afterwards to hold them down, because the pair that Joe Bonamassa sent me, I don't remember what I did with them. They're either in my work bag or I had 2 cases of stuff up there with pedals and cables and stuff like that. So I don't know where I put them. But this thing here, man, and now comparing it to the Modern, it is a little bit heavier. But man, does it play beautifully. It sounds great. It feels great. So the things I picked out on the first video, like I said, I wasn't complaining because I bought this used. I was just pointing things out because I could do that because it's my guitar, it's my video, and no one gave it to me, you know, to give a review on it. And if someone ever did do that, I would be just as honest as I am with anything. Not the kind of guy, well, look at this, $179. Oh, it's great. That's fantastic. Wow, it's fantastic. That drives me nuts. I'm like, yeah. And then when I buy it, I get a piece of crap. And that's happened. That happened with the Send Star that I had. The one guy, the YouTuber, someone sent it to him and he was, oh, this is great, this is great. And it wasn't great. But someone sent him a Leo James, and he says, this is great, this is great. It's just, and it was great. So, and this neck, again, this is almost the same as the asymmetrical neck on the Modern. It's a thin C. Well, I shouldn't even. It's a thin D. Okay, and it's thinner down here, and it feels so comfortable straight away. It doesn't take a minute. The Modern, it's got the same thing, but I guess this was more shaped, like they said, the asymmetrical, the way Jimmy Page's hand, because I think he's a smaller guy, he's got a smaller hand. They have it where it's media up here on the low strings and thinner on the high strings. And you feel that right away, and you feel it as soon as you're playing. And at, like I said, at first it feels weird, but after a couple of minutes, man, it feels great. But that one, there's no waiting time. You know what I'm saying? It's no breaking in time, to warm up to it. You don't have to warm up to that. This, you kind of warm up. And once you play it, and if you played it every day over and over all the time, then you'd be fine with it. But I play so many guitars, I'm going from this one, that one to the other one, that when I grab this one, I feel it right away. But after a couple of minutes, I'm like, wow, this is fantastic. So this is lighter, and I really don't remember. I think it was chambered, weight relieved, and it's got the same setup. It's got the coil tap, and it's got the phase switch. With this one here, on this Epiphone, this is a 2022, and both are made in China, by the way. So the Gibson guys, they don't seem to complain about an Epiphone being made in China, but they complain about everything else that you buy from Amazon or any other copycat name, or copycat LP style that's made in China. But they don't complain about the Epiphones. And you know what? Most of the stuff is being made over there by the same machinery, because it's a computer, and maybe sent back, and then they assemble it here. So, there you have it. But the same thing, it's, both of them, they're pieced together. So the headstock is pieced to the neck is pieced to the body. It's got a spacer in it right here. It's like the Epiphone. But the big difference is that this one has locking Grover tuners, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to replace those and put gold locking Grover tuners in there. This has a ebony fingerboard, and this has the cutaway. It's contoured right here. Now again, why they don't put this on every Epiphone and every Gibson? I noticed the guitar from Alex Life something, the dude from Rush, the lead guitarist from Rush. His signature guitar on the Epiphone model is like this. It's rounded, almost like the Prophecy guitar. And he's got a belly cut contour with a Floyd Rose 1000 series, which most of my playing style is always with a tremolo, a whammy bar, a wiggle stick, a shifter. For some reason, I use that as an accent. I just don't go crazy with it, But it would be nice to have, and I do have a Harley Benton, the 400, I think it is, the SC custom black. But that's got a sharp horn. It's got just volume, and tone, and it's satin black, 24 frets, and that's got I think it's a 1000 Floyd Rose in it. And I like it, but it's a thin line body, and I pick it up every now and again, but I don't gravitate towards a Floyd Rose on an LP single cut Les Paul style guitar. I don't know why. I like to find one in Guitar Center or Sam Ash that has a Floyd Rose and play it and see if I really like it on a regular Epiphone or Gibson, other than my Harley Benton for some reason, and just see if I would keep on using it. I've been breaking away from having guitars like the two behind me, the Telly and the Strat with tremolos. The Strat has a Floyd Rose, and the Harley Benton, that's the Charvel, that has the Fusion, that has a 2-point Wilkinson trim, and they both stay in tune, and I like to use it, but it's not like I used to get to a point where I used to go for the arm, play and go for the arm, and not have it there. But I never liked Gibson Les Pauls, and I hated with a passion um, Telecasters. And I don't know what happened. Maybe since I hit my head, I've completely changed, and I've got more Les Pauls than I have Strats. I have more single cut guitars, I should say, than I have Stratocasters. I only have 3 now that I'm thinking about it at this time. Yeah. So, and that was never the case. So that's the difference between the two. They both, and I'm warming up. I really ripped this one apart on one of my videos, only because of quality control with these. I don't understand, why they don't have like at least a 10-point inspection. Why, half of them leave the warehouse the way they do. This one again, locking Grover tuners, and they wound the strings around. So I don't get it. But in this one, again, this is pieced as well. You didn't see my other video. The head is pieced to the neck. The neck has a spacer that's set into the body, so there's a spacer in there as well. Uh, this is a 3-piece mahogany back, but it's got the Koa wood 1-piece on front. No, it looks like a seam right in the middle. It's very hard to tell. I'm not gonna say that either way what it is, 1-piece or 2-piece, but and my complaint about this was that from the factory they put one of the tuning pegs on crooked. This one, it's not straight. And why would that happen? So yeah, Epiphone, I would put my money into an Epiphone than a USA made Gibson, because from what my buddies, and I have Gibson guitar snobs, that anything else to them is crap. You're an idiot to buy anything else. You're a fool to spend money on anything else. For all the guitars you could have one good Gibson. Yeah, but for one good Gibson, I only have one guitar. I'd rather have a variety of guitars. That's just the spice of life, is having more than one thing. But I've got buddies that I don't even think they would even own an Epiphone. I think if they saw one in the store, either one of these two, and these two are fantastic, I think they'd snub their nose at it and walk right past. I've got one friend that he's got so many 59 reissues. He's got like a living room full of them, and they basically all look the same. It's not like he's got different colors, different bursts, different, they're all the same, and that's all, he thinks that's gold, and there's nothing better than that. So I get it, because I was a snob at one time too, with Strats and Gibsons and Tellys, and I thought Epiphone was like, ugh. I thought that was like the Epiphones and Squires. I thought were like, oh, what am I? I'm wasting my time. But now, when you're picking them up, all of them are fantastic. So, from what I was told from my Gibson friends that are just 100% in with the USA Gibson, from what they tell me, in 2012, their production just went out the window. Since, as far as from what I was told, 2012, all the guitars that they were putting out weren't worth it. They were crap. And then a buddy that's a Gibson, a friend of mine that's another big Gibson guy. He used to come down all the time. In 2018, he said they even got worse from 2012. He says they're hunker drunk. So I think that the Gibson, the CEOs should be fired. I think that they should get new CEOs with a reasonable paycheck without $1 million bonus check. Pay the workers what they're worth to do a good, build a good guitar, because if it could be done with Epiphone, Squire, and Harley Benton, and the ERT, and the Leo James, and the Firefly, and the IYVs in China, why can't they do it? And why can't they have that system here? They want to bring the technology over to China and teach them how to do it. And then when I buy a Gibson 59 Greeny Moore replica for a couple $100 that I could compare. The only thing I would have to do is not let you look at the cover, the truss rod cover, and gave you this guitar next to the $3,300 guitar, the $20,000 or the $50,000. I honestly, I think you would have a really hard time telling me which one is mine, unless, of course, like I said, you pull the cover. Anything else, you wouldn't be able to tell. So what's the big deal, you know? So and not for nothing, how much stuff do you buy that is from China and Taiwan and Indonesia, South Korea? I mean, really, right? Thanks everyone for watching. I know it's been going a little bit long, and I apologize. Have a good day and a better tomorrow.